So let's just go ahead and take our time and either just find a comfortable seated position to be in, seated position, or we can come onto the back body, just whichever is more comfortable for everybody. Ever is more comfortable. I'm gonna come onto the back body this morning because it just sounds nice. And I'm gonna find the cushion just right underneath my head, kind of cradling the head, and then allow my shoulders to come down. Open up the hands. Just let yourself be. Just begin to notice how your body is as it arrives on the mat this morning. Just what's going on with the body. Notice any areas of tension. Notice anything that's going on. Notice the mind. Notice where your mind is this morning. Just begin to deepen the breath. Deepen the breath so that the lungs just really expand, fill up, fill the belly, fill the heart. Everything nice and full, and then lips remain sealed, and just slowly let the breath out through the nose. Just let it go. Refill the lungs with air. Nice full breath in. And just even slower this time, even slower, let the breath out through the nose. Let it almost become audible to you like an ocean-like sound. Just set your own pace for the breath. Just envision that breath. And when you find the mind wandering, maybe this morning or throughout the day or at any point, just come back to the breath. Just bring your focus just back to your breath very gently. Just notice, and then come back to the breath. It's kind of a nice tool that we have that can always bring us back to center, always bring us back to the present moment. And begin to find a little bit of movement in the hands, the fingers, and then the wrists, on the ankles, the toes. Take a nice full body stretch when you can. Just wiggle it all out. And then just bring the soles of the feet onto the mat. Lift the hips up a little bit off of the earth. And just scooch them down towards the feet a little bit further. And then place the hips back down. And just pause for a moment and bring the hands kind of right on the belly. Just underneath the rib cage. And just pause and take notice of the low back. Notice if there's a large arch in the low back, or notice if we're melting down towards the earth, and then just allow everything to relax. Allow that belly, allow the low back to really just melt down towards the earth if there's an arch. Just really soften here. Couple breaths just right here. And a very gentle, just sway with the knees side to side. Begin to find a little bit of movement through the hips, through the low back, waking up the spine a little bit. Mm-hmm. Bring the knees in towards the chest when you're ready. Continue that movement. A little rock back and forth. Still lengthening through the spine as we do this. Maybe roll some circles on the low back. And then massage it out. Go both directions with it. Both directions. And then I'm going to roll my whole little ball over towards the right. Just kind of roll over on the right hand side of the body. Roll over on the right hand side of the body. And you can either keep your cushion underneath you or kind of scoot it off to the side. And then I'm going to bring both of my hands just right out here in front of me. Kind of clap them together. And the left hand, I'm going to take and just follow it. Let it kind of trace the earth and just go up and overhead, over behind the body, and then watch it with the gaze and then bring it all the way over towards the left. And then let's lift it back up and come back over and connect the hands. So kind of making a windmill movement here. So again, just trace the earth, follow it all the way. Kind of get the neck involved here a little bit. Shoulders, the neck, and then connect it back together one more time, just like this. If it feels good, you can do it a couple of times if you'd like to, or just once you find your way over on this time, just let it settle and just find a twist. I'm going to bring my bolster back actually and give my low back a little support here. So you can always put bolster underneath the knees if you'd like to. But just go ahead and allow for that left shoulder to be nice and melted into the earth. Nice and melted into the earth. And you can make a couple of fists if you'd like to. You can roll the wrists a few times. Move the fingers. Just take the gaze out over the left. Just breathe. And then if you have the bolster in between the knees like I do, or a pillow, you can move it out of the way. And then let's just gently make our way onto the back body. So lift those knees up, lengthen out, reset the hips. I'm gonna pull my knees in towards the chest, just give a nice hug, rock back and forth again. Rock back and forth. Let everything just really melt here and be soft. Notice the shoulders. Let everything just melt. And then the whole little ball is going to roll over towards the left this time. So hands are going to clap together. Just roll on the left-hand side of the body. And then let's follow that right hand and do that windmill once again. So follow the right hand all the way over. And then lift it back up and bring it together. Follow it. And lift back up. Bring the hands together. You can do this as many times as feels good if you're really getting some nice movement from it, or you can just come into a twist on this one and just stay in a nice still position. Your choice. And if it feels good to grab a bolster or a pillow and bring between the knees, feel free to do that. Otherwise, just stay right here. You can let the gaze either come out over the right, or you can keep it up towards the sky. Your choice, whatever feels better. Just breathe. We're wherever you're at, just breathe. Really let that shoulder melt. Feel the heart nice and open. And then gently bring the knees back up through center. I'm gonna lengthen out those hips again, kind of notice the spine, notice the neck, make sure everything's nice and in line once again. You can kind of even find a little bit of traction underneath the neck. Move the hands underneath there and then place it back down on the mat. I love this mat, by the way. This is a jade mat. It really gives some nice grip. So if you're looking for a Christmas gift, I highly recommend this mat. It's always been my favorite. Really gets that ability to get some traction going through the body. So let's pull those knees in one more time. Nice little rock back and forth. Lift the feet up. Ooh, happy baby pose it. Rock back and forth in our happy baby pose. And I kick it out a little bit. Maybe roll all the way up a little bit, give the upper body a little bit of a massage too, if that feels okay. And then your choice, either roll over to the side body and rock your way up, or rock up this way. You can rock a couple times, maybe give that spine a little love. Feels pretty good, actually. And then just get yourself into a nice, comfortable seated position. I'm going to grab my bolster again, readjust the leggings. Right. Hello, everybody. So let's just begin by just rolling those shoulders a few times. Just get yourself comfortable, take your time. Nice loose crisscross applesauce, by the way. So sometimes we sit real tight in this, just kind of loosen the legs. Let them just really be kind of free there. And just roll the shoulders a little bit. Get those shoulders rolling. And as we bring the shoulders forward, kind of tuck the chin, envision the shoulder blades really opening up, kind of roll through the body, and just take your time. You can go really, really slow here so that you get a lot going on. You can lean the head back, open through the heart, push those shoulders down. Same thing, kind of roll back, almost like a cat-cow pose. Pull the shoulders forward, roll them up and back. Let's change directions. Pinch those shoulder blades together, roll them up. Maybe kind of just move the head back and forth a little bit here. Take your time. Roll them forward, pull the belly in, tuck the chin. And I just hit each point with this. Really slow shoulder rolls. And then just gently let the shoulders fall. Just take a breath. Just check in, see how you're feeling right here. So let's begin. Let's just take the gaze out over towards the left. Gaze out over towards the left. Ask for that, or excuse me. Let's start again. Let's take the gaze to the right. Sorry, you guys. Let's take the left shoulder and just ask it to move back a little bit. Just check in and see how that gaze is feeling. See how it's feeling. Go ahead and gaze forward. Slowly change sides. Slowly change sides. And then gently push that right shoulder back. And kind of move the elbow back with it. Let's bring it back forward. Just release. Just drop the ear down, the right ear over towards the right shoulder. Same thing. This time we're going to kind of pull that left hand back, pull that the left shoulder back. Bring it on back up here. Other side. Other side. And bring it back. That neck really feeling nice and open here. And go ahead, bring the hand back just very slowly, very gently. Bring ourselves back up to a neutral neck, and then let's begin just some nice half neck rolls. Roll it around. Couple times. Maybe a nice full roll all the way. Change those directions. Now, if it feels good, just come back over towards the right. Maybe let the right hand come up. Give it a little additional stretch if that feels good. Only if it feels okay. And let's change sides with that. Let's go ahead and lift it up. Now drop the chin down. Same thing if it feels good. If it feels good, just bring the hands right behind the head, maybe a little additional length there. And go ahead and bring it on up and just let the gaze just drop back behind us, or excuse me, up towards the sky. Let the head drop back. And back up with it. Maybe roll it out a couple of times, just kind of get back to a nice neutral neck. Feels good. Feels good. So I'm going to bring the legs out this morning in front of us. Let's go ahead, just kind of lift up on the rump a little bit, get any cushion out from underneath us. You can either stay on a bolster if you'd like to, or you can take it out from under you. But let's just begin. Let's actually just begin staying seated in staff pose. Just kind of roll the shoulders up and back, tuck the elbows in, just sit up nice and tall, and gaze right down towards those feet. Just pause here. Just take 3 breaths in your staff pose here. Really focus on that breath. Come back to a nice deep inhale, but an even longer exhale. And then let's go ahead. We're going to lift up with the heart, lift up with the belly, and just take a nice little tilt forward. Let's just gaze right out in front of us this morning. So don't worry about gazing down towards the knees. Instead, just kind of roll the shoulders back. You can bring the little gecko fingers onto the mat and just take a little bit of a tilt forward. And we're going to really get a nice stretch through the back of the legs here. So gaze forward, just real gentle, just see where the body's taking you. Gaze stays forward, then go ahead and let the gaze just slowly down towards the knees. Go real slow here. Kind of feel that stretch move through the back of the legs and then through the spine. Maybe through the back of the neck a little bit as well. Just keep the chin tucked and then slowly roll it back up. Slowly roll back up. Let's begin. Let's take the right knee. We're going to bend the right knee. I'm going to take that right foot and cross it over to the opposite side here. And then I'm going to give a nice hug. Nice hug with the left hand on here. Nice hug. And lift up with the left hand. Lift it on up. Again, you can stay on your bolster if you'd like to, or you can dismount from the bolster. Reach it on back. Nice little gecko fingers. Roll that right shoulder up and back. And go ahead, get your twist going here. Go ahead and get that twist going. And take a nice unwind from it. Take a nice unwind. Let's take that right foot and just bring it on the inside of the left leg. Lift nice and strong. Same thing as we did before. Just gaze straight out in front of us. Just straight out in front of us. Get a nice stretch through that left hamstring. Then you can go ahead, take that tilt with the head. Gaze it on down. Make sure that it's not too much on the leg when you take the gaze down. If it is, just bring yourself back up a little bit. And then slowly, gently roll it back up. Roll it back up. Let's just bring that right leg out. Shake it out a little bit. Shake ourselves on out. And then let's change it up. So this time, I'm going to take the left foot, bring it on the outside of the right. Give yourself that nice big hug. You can bring it over here if that feels better to you. Otherwise, just give a nice hug. Might even get a little bit of a hip stretch here. Reach that hand up and over. Roll the shoulder up and back. Very nice. Gaze behind you. Get that nice twist going through the upper back body. Then gently unwind it. Gently unwind. Let's take the foot. Bring it right inside the leg. Nice big lift through the heart. Lift through the low belly. All the way up like a string's pulling our head up. And then just tilt forward over that right leg. Just keep the gaze looking forward. Keep the gaze forward at first. Nice, everybody. Really nice. And then if you'd like to, very slowly bring the gaze down towards the knee. Just breathe. Any tension, feel the breath move into it. Exhale, just soften with the exhale. Soften that tension. Then slowly, slowly, slowly roll it back on up. Roll it back up. And just shake it out again. Let's go ahead and shake it out. Tuck the feet behind me. Make my way up into table pose. Let's table it up. Open up the hands nice and wide. Just begin to move through some cat-cows. Oh, nice and easy here. Lift the tailbone, lift the gaze, just breathe. Exhale, round it out. Few times. Breathe. Round it out. Move just at your own pace. Just move with your own breath at your own pace, as slow or as quick as it feels good to you. And then just go ahead, we're gonna sink back to the knees, just roll up one vertebrae at a time. So we're just in a little kneeling position. Let's just give the wrists some love right now. So give those wrists a nice stretch. The wrist and forearm gets involved here. Nice stretch. Change direction with the hand so that we Give the opposite way a nice little stretch as well. And then roll it out, maybe make some fists. Roll it out a little bit. And when you're ready, back into those cat-cows. And just make about 3 or so cycles of cat-cows. Get this hair back. And then gently, when you're finding yourself in that cat position with a nice rounded back, just tuck the chin and slowly, one vertebrae at a time, just bring yourself back, PD, into a child's pose. I'm gonna kind of open up the knees, let the feet kind of come together here, and then take the hands, just bring them back behind you. Let the elbows, the shoulders, let everything just open up. Just breathe. Just breathe. Then gently bring the hands back up, back into your table pose. Tuck those toes. Lift up with the knees just like a couple of inches off of the mat to begin with this morning. And then I'm going to bring my chest back towards the thighs. So you're kind of almost like in a squatted downward facing dog position. And then begin to lift up a little bit more. Kind of begin to straighten the knees more and let the thighs make their way back up that way. So kind of unfold into your downward facing dog. And then just walk your dog out. Walk it on out. Shake the head out. Just tilt one hip at a time. Take a nice bend actually into the right knee. And then just kind of let the hips kind of fall over towards the right a little bit here. Gonna stretch through that IT band on the left-hand side. Then change direction. So nice bend into the left. Kind of let the hips melt over towards the left. And then just begin to walk it on up to the front of the mat and make your way into a forward fold. Nice forward fold. Just completely let yourself hang here for a moment. As long as it feels okay on the spine, as long as it feels good, just let yourself completely go. Let it go. Take that nice big breath through the nose. Any tension, send it there. Exhale, melt a little deeper. Nice bend into the knees. Push into the soles of the feet. Flat back. Let's rise up all the way up. Stack the spine. Lift the gaze. Breathe in. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's flow through a couple of sun salutations. So just lift the hands, lift the gaze, breathe in. Exhale, fold it forward. Hands to the shins, nice length through the back of the legs. Gaze out in front of us just a bit. Exhale, fold it out again. Bend into those knees, rise all the way up. All the way up, breathe in. Exhale, hands to heart center. Couple more times. Just a nice big breath in, breathe. Exhale, fold it out. Palms to the shins, we lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Little bend into the knees, rise all the way up. Breathe in. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's add on a little bit this time.
So breathe, lift the palms, lift the gaze, breathe it in. Exhale, forward, fold it out. Let's lift the hands towards the shins. Nice big breath. Exhale, fold, little bend to the knees. Let's keep that right foot forward. We're going to step the left foot back. And just kind of at a 45-degree angle with the left foot. Nice bend into that right knee. Lift up, hips are going to be facing forward. Let's lift those hands up. Find ourselves into a warrior one this morning. Warrior one. So one fun balance pose that we don't do very often is warrior three. So I thought maybe this morning we could go there. So I'm going to bring my hands actually back down into heart center. And then just kind of lift up with the left toes a little bit. And then just lift all the way up onto that right foot. And just find a balance. You can always use something to hold on to. You can open up the arms if that feels good. Just let's take a moment here. Just a moment in balance. And then just gently step back into our warrior one. It's kind of a fun one. Nothing we have to get too crazy with. Let's windmill open to warrior two. So we'll just hit all the warrior series this morning. And then I'm going to bring my forearm, my right forearm down. And then lift up, extended side angle right here. Nice extended side angle. Let's make our way back up into warrior two. Straighten a little bit through that front leg. And then hands on the hips again. We all know the triangle pose, but really try to get that left hip nice and stacked. And then bring that right hand down either onto a block or onto the shin, wherever feels good. Just ask that hip not to collapse. And then let's bring that left hand up. Maybe the gaze comes up towards the left hand. And then just go ahead, gently make your way up. Take a bend into that front right knee and windmill all the way on down. Step back. Just come back into downward facing dog. Wiggle it out a little bit. Shake it out a little bit. Now, if it feels good to you, bring the knees down and maybe do a vinyasa here. Just kind of make your way through onto the belly. We're just going to do a very gentle vinyasa. Nice lift into a cobra pose. Make your way back down. Push back through table. Tuck the toes. Back into downward facing dog, or you can stay right there in table if you'd like to. Shake the head a little bit. Once again, I'm going to tippy toe up towards the front of the mat. And arrive in a forward fold. This time I'm going to grasp on the opposite elbows in that fold. You just let yourself nice and heavy. Just hang it on out. Let the hands release. Nice bend into the knees. Rise all the way up. All the way up. And the hands are going to come to heart center. So let's move through the opposite side this time. And if at any time it just doesn't feel right, either skip a posture. You can always just come into child's pose and take a little break too. So nice big breath in. Breathe it on in. Exhale, forward fold. Hands towards the shins. Push those shoulders back, lengthen through the back of the legs. Exhale, fold it out, little bend into the knees. Let's step back this time with the right foot so the left foot stays forward. Nice 45-degree angle with that left foot, excuse me, with the right foot. Left foot is just nice and forward. Knee is going to come over that left ankle. We lift up. Nice, everybody. Into warrior one. Lift it on up. Take a breath. Let's prepare for our launch mode into warrior three. You can always keep the toes down on the earth if you want to, but bring those hands through the heart center. You can lift up onto that right toe and lift onto the left foot. That feels okay. Open up the hands, whatever feels nice for you for this balance. And when you're ready, just step it on back. Take your time. Take your time. Step it on back to warrior one. And we'll open to warrior two. I always kind of scoot the stance of my legs a little bit when I go to warrior two. So open up the legs just a little bit more. Nice bend into the knees, or the knee, I should say. And then let's take that left hand, left arm, left forearm. Nice, nice. Still stack through the hips. Extended side angle here. Really get a nice stretch through that hip area. Beautiful, you guys. Really nice. Go ahead. Open it back up. Let's gently straighten into that left knee. So same thing, just preparing for triangle pose. However feels good to you. Maybe the hand comes onto a block, or if you've just got the shin right there, that works. For me, it feels good to look up, but for other people, I think it feels better to look down. So just see what feels good to you. See what feels good to you. Very nice. And then I'm just going to transition back up into my warrior and windmill it back on down. Step on back. Downward facing dog here. Just shake it out a little bit. And then bring the knees down. Sink back into child's pose. So from here, we've got two different places that we can go. Your choice. We can either go through that classical pigeon pose, in which we'll make our way into downward facing dog and go from there, or you can roll up one vertebrae at a time onto the back body and we'll do a reclined pigeon. So for those going into regular pigeon, let's begin. Let's go up onto those knees, into downward facing dog. Lift up with the right leg. Nice high lift. And stretch that out a little bit if it feels good. Bring that right knee up to the right wrist. Square off with the hips. So make sure that hip isn't collapsing. Feel free to use a prop if you'd like to. And just bring yourself on down. Nice square hips. Now, if you are opting to roll up and come onto the back body instead. So for my pigeon goers, just stay right there and enjoy. Or if you would rather be on the back body, cross that right foot over the top of the left thigh, kind of flex into that right foot, reach through, grasp onto the back of the left thigh. Nice stretch that way. So just enjoy in whichever posture you are at this morning. Rejoin the original pigeon goers. Pete's pigeon, if you will. For the original pigeon goers, just begin to push the hands into the earth. Let's tuck P-Bear, would you like to join? We're doing pigeon. Okay, good. All right. So begin to tuck through that left toe and just lift up with the left knee. Get a nice stretch there. And then, send that right foot back. Gonna stack it. Now, if you're in a reclined pigeon, just gently bring your knee down and kind of windshield wiper the knees out. That's the best way to kind of undo that. So original pigeon goers, let's lift through the left leg. Bring that knee forward. Nice, Poppy. Excellent work, baby bear. And then let's fold it on down. Oh, well, that's a nice adjustment. Oh my. Wow, Poppy. Thank you. This is something. I see you. I feel you. So if you are taking the reclined variation, let's go ahead, cross the left leg over the top of the right, flex through that left foot, protect the knee there. Whew, get your hip opener going. Whichever way you're choosing this morning, just enjoy that hip opener. Either way, just enjoy it. Come back and join the original pigeon goers. Couple nice breaths there. Gonna tuck through the right toe, lift up with the right knee, bring the hands back down into the earth. And then I like to just send my left leg back up and kind of stack it, roll a couple of circles, shake those hips on out, shake it all out. Gently make your way back up into any posture actually that feels good. If there's anything that the body's craving, go ahead and just go there. Anything at all that you would like this morning. Just take your time, see what the body's craving. Mine was craving coffee. see what posture the body is craving. Just gonna roll myself back down onto the back body. And roll it out a little bit. Take a happy baby pose. Sounds nice. I like to sometimes move my happy baby pose a little bit. Just extend one leg out at a time.